the summertime, it felt right drinking cherry wine with you. I just wanted to own it, just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here, oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you.
You see, that's why I don't rock with y'all like that. I rock with y'all, but I don't rock with y'all like that. Y'all be on some goofy shit. Stay the fuck from around me, nigga. Talk to me.
No need to hide. I see through your cruel disguise. I hope you see nothing's done to me. Only one thing that I ever asked for. Don't lie to me. I see some disloyalty.
Two-Face, I was locked in like a suitcase. Even traded an old case for a new case. Use a cap, nigga. You fake. Supposed to hold me down, why would you flake? We was over the stove, souffle. I might have went over some heads, toupee. Got the addy to your mamas and where you stay. You all get it like a crew text, two texts. Big bullets going through flesh. On behalf of the disrespect, I ain't through yet. I wrap my hand around your throat, that's a crew neck. If you ever lose your life, I won't lose rest. It's disloyalty, no, it's disroyalty. Blowing money on Louis and lawyer fees. Through the bullshit, we still ball. It's a full-time job not to kill y'all niggas.
No need to hide. I see through your cruel disguise. I hope you see no damage was done to me. Only one thing that I ever asked from you. Don't lie to me.
Don't lie to me.
I sense some disloyalty.
I'm doing better now. I'm probably the on the kingpin with a heavy crown. Writing names on ammunition round. Use crumb, use fucking clown. We got those a body in another town. All the snitch niggas on the ground. The cutty shot his house up. Should've kept his mouth shut in the precinct. Shh, don't make a sound. Can't trust hoes and I can't trust homies. They be out of bounds, so I'm belling by my lonely thought. That was my bro, wasn't living by the code, G. Why even at the altar, I gotta keep it on me. Circle so small, it's a decimal. Disrespect the dawn, what you never do. Disrespect the fam, that's the death of you. The only way to get the fucking message through is capital, nigga.
No need to hide. I see through your cruel disguise. I hope you see no damage was done to me. Only one thing that I ever asked from you.
You gon' end up out of shape, you know what I mean?
I sense some disloyalty.
That's capital. Capital told you that. That's capital as in capital F. Kinzie, what's up? Told you I got you. Bear game. Forever.
Welcome to Everything Sparkle, Kinzie. I am so excited to finally have you on because you are super, super talented.
Thank you.
How long have you been doing this?
How long have I been singing or doing like music on a professional level?
Okay, do both. Give us both scenarios.
So I've been singing since I was about 4, and I had my first official performance when I was 9.
So how long have you been in the recording studio?
Since 13.
Oh my, wow. So how has your voice changed? That's gotta be. How do you sound now based on how you sound like 13? And how did you have a vocal coach to help you?
So 13, wow, going back that far. 13 I was very high. I was much more of a higher pitch than I am now.
Is that a cat or a puppy? Let me see.
It's my dog. She has separation anxiety, so she has to. I guess.
She's so cute. Oh.
But it's definitely my voice. Instead of getting higher, my voice got lower as I got older. Most definitely.
Did you like it? Did you work with it?
No, yeah, it's perfect because I can still hit a lot of falsetto. My falsetto is great. It's just I think in high school I was a soprano too, second soprano, and I think I'm more kind of like an alto now.
Yeah, that's how I hear you, and your voice is so amazing. Who do you get compared to?
A lot of Adele, definitely Adele. and let's see, Amy Winehouse. I get that.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
I get that one a lot. I have some Etta. When I do my Etta, everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, you sound just like her." I get that too. It varies. For some people, it's different. Sometimes I get country singers. Sometimes I'll get soul singers, or you never know.
I love this because you sound like you're 12 when you talk. When you sing, you're like, this old soul, this like 40-year-old woman. Did people tell you that too? That you sing so beyond your years?
So one of my old producer, I had him. I met him when I was 13. As soon as like he came in, he saw me recording, and so from that point on, I was with him for I think like a couple of years. And so see, when we first started working together, I remember we were trying to write, and he's like, at one point he told me, "Okay, you need to stop." It's like, you sound like you're writing like you're a 40-year-old woman who's been through some shit. Excuse my language. But you're like 13. That makes no sense. And I was like, this is just what comes to my brain, what comes to my head. This is how it comes out.
So what do you write like now? I mean, did he accept that though? Was you guys recording the songs that you wrote? Was he accepting your old?
No, he was more of, okay, look, we need to turn this around and start writing your age stuff that's for your age and how
that was really hard.
Someone your age.
That wasn't your normal though, huh?
No, I learned to grow up young. I definitely learned to grow up young. I started helping out my family when I was about 7. My sister had like her first kid and stuff. So from that point on, I helped raise the kids. I helped clean the house. I helped do all the family work you're supposed to do when you get older. I started doing pretty young, so I learned to grow up pretty fast.
Wow, that's incredible. But so what are you singing now then? Did you get your way? Do you go back to little old soulful stuff, or you're trying to do teenage stuff?
Right now I kind of just do a bit of everything, actually. It's more though of the soul music and the R&B music is what I'm getting into now. I've definitely gotten into a lot more of Etta James. I sing Misty Blue. That's one of the songs everyone likes for me to sing is Misty Blue. For Etta, it's At Last. Right now I'm working on All I Can Do Is Cry. I'd Rather Go Blind. I've done that one before. And a lot of Sam Smith. I'm doing a lot of Sam Smith right now.
And as far as like the stuff you're recording, are you coming up with the lyrics? Is it all like 100% you for the most part? Are you collaborating a lot?
Right now I'm doing a lot of collabs, but everything I write is me writing. It's okay. I've written for like certain songs.
Nice. And then how did you get involved with Fashawn? It's so awesome. You guys are such a great pairing. I love it. How did you get involved with them?
Okay, so I believe I was hit up for a feature. Or I can't remember too much. It was a decent time ago. And he's like, "Hey, can we do a feature?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course."
So he didn't know you? Were you guys like
we met once, but I don't think he remembered. It was a long time ago, and of course I wasn't a redhead at that point. So when we first met, it was before, all this COVID stuff and all this stuff.
Yeah.
During an art hop. He was actually out at an art hop. And I took a picture with him. This was a long time ago. I think I was maybe like 16, 17 at the time. And we didn't really get a chance to talk. Like, we took a picture and then I had to move on because there was a line, So that's when we first officially met. I don't know if he remembers, but we met a long time ago.
Took a picture.
It's somewhere. I have it somewhere. But me and him, we took a picture together. And then I had to, move out of the way real quick for the next person.
So how did you make an impression on him? Were you sing? I mean, how did you guys become social media buddies? Did he hear how did you get?
He did follow me on social media, and I think it just kind of took off from there. Because I don't really try to push, especially people as high as him in the music. I don't try to push myself on them. I'll send them links to my music, but that's about it. And if they hit me up for a feature, of course, I'm going to say yes. Especially someone on that high of a level, I'm going to say yes too.
That's an exciting story. I love that.
So when he hit me up about a feature, I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, I'm totally down. We went in the studio, and to be honest, when we wrote that song, I had nothing. I had nothing written for that song, nothing. It took me like maybe 20 minutes to write what I wrote. And I completely based everything I wrote off of him. He went in, he did his first verse, and after he did his first verse, I was like, you know what? Okay, cool. I looked for like certain keywords, and then disloyalty stuck out to me. So I'm like, you know what? Bam, I'm gonna use that word. And from that one word, I made the whole hook for the song.
Wow. What does he think about that? I mean, I know he raves about you. But what does he think about that experience?
As far as I know, he loved it. Every time me and him talk about it, he loved it. We had a great time. We definitely vibed. That's one of the things is if we can't vibe, I can't work with you. It's not
right.
You're not going to get the me that you deserve if I can't vibe with you.
That's such an incredible story. And so then you guys, when did the music video come about?
So the music video came, I think, maybe a couple weeks after, or maybe, I don't know, I don't think a month, maybe a couple weeks after we got in the works about a video. And of course, I had to do some other things to get him in the video. But we shot the video. It was all up. The camera guy, he chose pretty much the locations on where to go. Because I'll leave stuff like that to the camera guy because he knows it best. He knows the best, to do. So we met up for the video, shot the video. It was fun. Everyone was laid back, laughing, cracking jokes in between. And then we went to go look for an alley with graffiti. That's originally where it was supposed to be. But we ended up maybe like a block away from where we first shot the video. We found a different alley, no graffiti, but it was perfect for the rest of the video.
Kinzie, how old are you? Do you mind telling the viewers?
I'm 20. I turned 21 this year.
Oh, yay. This is the 21 year? So you were born like 2000?
Yep. And my birthday was a year. So 2020, I was 20. It's funny. My birthday is September 20. And last year, my birthday was September 20 on 2020, and I turned 20.
I love that. I love stuff like that. I'm a big nerd for numbers. That is so cool. So, okay, so you've had how long have you had a manager? You've been professionally recording for about 7 years now. When did you start getting into management? And how did you know who to go to? Because that's got to be a huge decision.
So my management, I started maybe about last year. We started last year. I signed with him last year. And he's actually family. He's my
for real. Like it's not like he's like family. He's
no. He's my brother-in-law's uncle.
I love that story.
So, and he was my first choice. I was working with someone else at the time, and then things didn't work out with them. So I'm like, you know what? We'll go with it. He was my first choice. So I'm going to go with my first choice. And so far, it's been really good. It's been great.
Do you like it because you could trust him as someone that, has your best interest at heart? Like instead of just somebody that wants to take advantage of your talent and your money and your everything, as somebody you could like.
It has its ups and downs. It was definitely.
I imagine that I know that the downs.
It has its ups and downs, but it's more convenient for me because yes, it is a lot easier to trust him, and especially it's a lot easier to talk to him knowing, okay, cool, this is family, so I can talk to my family. There's no issue talking with family. And if I was working with someone else, okay, like all right, I gotta watch what I say, how I say it, and I have to watch my wording. With him, I don't really have to do all that because he kind of.
And the downside is he tells you like it is, huh? He's not easy on you because I knew that. I was like, he's family. He's honest with you. So what's his name?
His name is Carl Johnson.
Carl Johnson. Well, who else has he represented that we would know?
He worked with Beza.
Okay. How long has he been in the industry?
That is an answer I don't quite have, but I know it was probably way before I was born.
He was always doing music. Like he was into that before he heard you sing.
He was into that way before I even came around. And he has helped me understand certain things and kind of helped me kind of get some more of the industry, like stuff that I didn't know. He helps me get that, especially more on the management side, and he'll help me like, oh, like watch out for this and this when you talk to people about features, doing songs together, even going into the studio.
He always has your back. No, that's good because there's probably a lot of things to look out for. I imagine when you're like this talented, I mean, sometimes people are like, wow, you know, someone notices me and they kind of go to like who notices, but it's hard to be like, know when to be choosy and when to be like, okay, this is good. So he kind of helps you navigate that.
Yes, I kind of had a sense of it already because you already get vibes off people when you know something's not right.
Right.
You'll get a gut feeling, and of course I get those gut feelings too. So like I would talk with the person, go meet with them, be like, oh yeah, and then when I got with him to talk about the situation, say I was doing a feature with someone, and I wasn't really getting the best feeling, I feel like something was shady. And so of course I would be nice, talk to them, be professional in that moment, be professional. And when I got with him, I would tell him how I felt. And then from that point on, he would, take care of that situation.
How did he feel about Fashawn before you got with him? Did he know who he was? Was he really happy you got with him? What did he say?
The only way I knew him was from that picture. And even then, the person I was with, my photographer, he was with me because he was going to take a picture himself. He knew Fashawn. He knew who this was. I had no idea who this man was. I was like, I've never heard of Fashawn. I was like, wait, who is this? Who is this guy? And so I took the picture, and then when we met up this time, okay, I know who Fashawn is. I know what he does, and he's a rapper. I was like, okay, cool. I should do a feature with him. That was always in my head every time, like, someone brought him up. I'm like, yeah. They're like, you should do a feature with this guy. I'm like, I know. I really want to. And then finally, when the feature came about, I was like, okay, cool. I was nervous because I didn't know how, I didn't know what I should do. I didn't know if, I'm very careful when I go with artists and me and the artist are in the studio. When it's not just me and the engineer. If it's me and the artist, I try to, kind of feed off of them, of course. And I try to get to know them a little more. So I'll ask random questions. And with Fashawn, it was comfortable, which was good because if it's comfortable, it's going to work. And I felt like I was literally just talking to one of my friends the whole time. It just felt like I was just chilling with one of my friends, and we were just doing some music. That's how it felt.
What's your favorite Fashawn song before you guys got together? Because I'm sure you went and listened to some of it.
I don't think I have a favorite Fashawn song because I liked pretty much every song that I heard. It's hard for me to have favorite songs because I listen to so much and I like so many different things. And a lot of the songs I actually really liked.
What advice did he give you?
It was kind of the same thing, just kind of vibe out. I asked him what do you think I should, what do you think I should do? What are you feeling? How do you feel like the song should go? He's like, how do you feel? And that was our continuous conversation. Well, how do you feel? What do you think? Which is exactly what I was saying to him. So finally, I came out and I was like, you know what? Maybe shady, betrayal. And this was just off the feeling I was getting from the beat. And then he was like, okay. And literally 5 seconds later, he was like, okay, I got something. And then he went in.
That is so cool. So where can we listen to your music? I saw the music video. It's great. Where's your other music and all of your songs? Is it Spotify or SoundCloud?
It's I have stuff on SoundCloud, actually. But everything on SoundCloud is back from when I was 13. So if you ever wanted to hear how I sounded at 13.
I kind of do want to go back and hear how you sounded.
It's on SoundCloud. And everything else is pretty much Spotify, YouTube. All my music videos are on YouTube. You can even hear the audios on YouTube, iTunes. It's pretty much everywhere. I made sure I made it accessible to everybody everywhere.
Who's your dream collaboration?
Sam Smith.
It could be anybody.
Heartbeat, Sam Smith. Any day, anytime, anywhere.
Really? Oh my gosh. I love Sam Smith.
He most definitely is my favorite artist. I remember when his first album came out, I made it a point to memorize every single song on that album.
I think you guys would make great music together. His voice with your voice would be amazing.
I love his voice, and the reason I sing a lot of his songs is it's a very comfortable for my voice.
Right.
So that's most definitely why I love doing his music.
Who is somebody that you were a fan of that you found out was a fan of yours that you were surprised about?
I don't want to say his last name wrong. Patrick Contreras. I don't know if you know who that is. He plays the violin.
I have heard.
He plays the violin. I remember there was a couple of times I heard him play and I just loved it. I love string instruments. I played a string instrument myself, a couple actually, and I loved the violin. That was always my second favorite. My favorite was the cello, which of course that's what I played. But
I love that. Dude, do you ever incorporate that with your songs?
I try to. Every time I go and someone's making me beat, I'm like, look, before you start, just know I love strings. I love string instruments. Violas, violins, cellos, the bass, piano, even ukulele, guitar. Those are all string instruments. I love strings. I love string instruments. And so I always try to mention like, hey, add strings to this, that's one thing I do like. And so they try to make an effort. And sometimes if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. You can't help if it doesn't work. So
are you going to collaborate with him or no?
I hope so. Me and him we've talked about it a couple times about collabing together. And we did once. And it was live. It was at NAMM. I don't know if you've ever heard of NAMM.
I have.
Convention down in LA. I've gone a couple years. And the convention, it's basically for musicians or for engineers, producers. They have
convention down in LA, like a convention hall?
No, it's more Anaheim. It's in Anaheim.
Oh, okay.
Convention center. And basically it's just a bunch of people, everyone involved with music in any kind of way is there. They sell instruments there, they sell gear there. They had a whole light show there.
You're gonna start drinking in a few months.
And I hope they open it again because I did enjoy it. They'd have live musicians play there, and so Patrick actually was playing there once while I was there, and we started talking, and I actually met up with him where he was performing at, and we started going off, we started just jamming and everything, and we had one more person there. I think his name was Lazarus, and he played the guitar, and he's so good. So we all just kind of sang and played our instruments.
That sounds incredible. What a fun night. What is the next step for you? What does your manager want you to do? What's the vision? To go and do a circuit, to do a tour of gigs? I know there's COVID right now, but in a post-COVID world, what's the next step?
Post-COVID, most definitely tours. Right now, I'm trying to finish all my features out, and then I'm gonna try and get started on the album. And then once I get started on the album, that gives me a little bit more to work with. I can't.
Will this be your first album, or? This
will be my second album. My first album, I was 16. I was 16, and it's not my best work, but I enjoyed the process of going and making the songs, of course. You can definitely see from the music on SoundCloud that I did a whole album just of cover songs. And that's on SoundCloud. That's what I said. If you want to hear how I sounded the 13th, it's there. And then the second album is it's on Spotify. And I did that one at 16. So I guess in a way, this is more like my third album.
And this is your first adult album, technically.
It's going to be my first adult album.
I love that. And so what are some of the songs? What's the theme that we can expect? Is there a breakup, heartache?
The album's gonna be kind of that, just heartbreak. I think I'm gonna base it off of a lot of experiences I had on 2019. So I'm gonna go back a couple of years, and 2019 was not my best year. I can definitely say that was one of my low points in my life was 2019. I definitely want to write some songs about it and let people know, kind of get to know me more and have them hear how I was, and stuff that I've gone through. And that's how I do a lot of my music. Actually, most of my music is stuff I've been through.
Well, that's what we want to hear. We want to know your experience.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I love it, girl. I love your sound. I can't wait to hear this.
I can't wait to hear it myself.
Well, you're premiering it now. Where is it going to be? Spotify or?
It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be, you can find it everywhere. Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, everywhere.
Awesome. So end of 2021?
I'm hoping my goal is end of 2021. And if not the end, I'm going to say beginning of 2022.
We are going to follow you everywhere, girl. So Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
My Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook are all at It's Kinzie Rose.
Perfect.
And I have Snapchat, which is Kinzie_52. This is a whole lot going on.
Thank you so much for coming on my show, Kinzie. I have no doubt there's big things for you. So I can't wait to hear what's coming next.
Thank you for having me. I was excited to hear I was going to be on your show. When I was performing in Clovis, we talked about your show, actually. He's like, have you ever been on Sparkle? I'm like, no. I was like, wait, what? I was like, there's a show I haven't been on yet. Yeah, it's called Everything Sparkle. And I was like, okay, I definitely got to try and get on the show. Me and him talked about it, and then now I'm here.
I love it. Well, I'm so glad that you're here, and we're going to keep following you everywhere. Everyone watching is going to follow your Instagram.
Awesome. I hope so. I hope so. I love everybody. I welcome everybody. My page is music, but also motivation, trying to get everyone motivated to follow what you want to do. If you're doing a job, and by the time you're 20, even 5 years in, if you don't love what you're doing, that's not the job for you. You need to love what you're doing. And I love what I'm doing. So I know this is what I was meant to do.
We love what you're doing. We love listening to you do what you do. Thank you so much, Kinzie.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, David.
Hi, Sparkle.
So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do in the company you work for.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, I actually work for a company. It's called BFI, Be Financially Informed. I'd love to have you visit the website, and any listeners you have. It's just www.befinanciallyinformed.com. It talks a lot about the things that we're covering, not in just this video, but some others that we may do in the future as well. Just trying to inform individuals that they have options. It's not just one. Yeah, it's like you do have options for sure. So I'm actually a financial advisor, licensed in several states, California, South Carolina, Florida, Arkansas. I'm working actually in Washington State at the moment as well. But across the U.S., I can get licenses in every state. I've been doing this for quite a while, and I love it. I love numbers. I love figures. I love all of the things around those that most people don't want to hear about. For some reason, I get a kick out of it.
That people don't want to hear about what they need to be doing with their money.
Yeah, exactly. So
it is kind of personal. We're not supposed to talk about money at event. You know what I mean? They said no politics, no money, no religion.
Yeah, and that's the stigma I really want to try to impact. I so appreciate your platform, the listeners that you have, the engagement that you have with them is so powerful. But to just overcome the stigma of raising a hand, just saying, hey, I have a question. Like, this is my current situation. What options do I have? Like those who are struggling with debt, and that's a real thing. It not only affects like your mental capability, but you physically. Like if you are stressing, I know that you do a lot of health and wellness events, and that's absolutely a part of it. Financially, if you are more stable, you're going to have a greater health, capabilities. But don't be afraid to ask the questions. Like, how do I get out? How can I make a plan? What programs are around to help me do that?
A big problem I think people think is that they think they have to have a lot of money to come to somebody like you. Is that true? I mean, can I work at like Taco Bell and babysit and say, I need David? At what point should we come to you and start talking about our financial future? And do we have to be rich to do it?
Sparkle, I think like you're somewhere like a fly on the wall in my office, because these questions are completely relevant. So great question. This week I've sat down with servers at Red Lobster. I just helped a cook retire that had been working at Denny's for over 20 years.
Wow.
Like I've helped people in the sheriff's department, like in South Carolina, or even some doctors, through Clovis Unified School District, teachers and educators. It really doesn't matter where you're at. Even if you have a part-time job, getting to the point to where you understand a little bit about how saving today can help you for generations in the future. Imagine someone that's on minimum wage and they put away 5% of what they have. Let's say maybe they get $200 for the week, and that's very low, right? So I know people are probably making a little bit more. So let's say that they even take $20 of what they have from that week, and they put it inside an account that's starting to grow at a 6% rate, and they're already taking advantage of compounding interest. They will be financially free before they recognize it. But getting into the habit today, many times we'll actually just go to schools and we'll educate people like in their leadership programs or students that are thinking about college and talking about the effects of student loans and how they can mitigate that so they won't be in debt for 20 years after they graduate college.
So what do you get out of this? I mean, if we're not having that much money, we're coming to you and you're doing, I know you deal with a lot and you deal with big people and rich people. I mean, can you afford to give us the time of day and to answer these questions? Do you give them free consultations? What if they want you for the long haul? How can we afford you and that with our Taco Bell salary?
Sparkle, I love that you asked the questions that everyone is thinking about, right? So, I actually get paid through different companies just for educating. It's probably the best job I've ever done. I've been in financial services for a long time. I started with a company called Aflac. You may have heard of the duck before. And with the birth of my first son, started there. And I understand that financial advisors usually take a cut of whatever it is that you are investing in. And I'm paid a little bit different. For example, like Nationwide or Pacific Life, Allianz or Athene, these companies, they are actually paying a huge marketing budget just for people like me to come out and educate others. They're hoping just by that education that we will actually start to set up those accounts. And once that happens, they pay me. I don't even receive anything from the client. There's no money that ever exchanges hands. I can't even legally take it. Many times people will say, hey, I've got this buried in my backyard. And I'm not making this up. Like, hey, I've got this money buried in my backyard, or I've got it in between my mattress. Can I bring it to you? It's like, I can help them invest it, but I can't take the assets from them because they are basically aligned directly with the company that best suits their needs.
How long has this been around where people get paid to kind of just help us give advice, and the companies have been doing that? Has that been a thing that's been going on forever?
That's actually relatively new. There's still a large market of financial advisors and fiduciary individuals that, are certified for stock offerings and things like that. And that's not the lane I wanted to go in. But honestly, insurance has been around since 1913. The way that people are educating others about it has changed. We're slowly moving away from hey, it's going to cost you $100 to talk to me for an hour. We're moving away from that because that makes no sense.
So anybody anytime could come and talk to David Foxx about finance and you're going to get paid.
Exactly.
I love that. This is so awesome. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sparkle.
Custom craft cigars, designed with you in mind. Join the taste of excellence. It's so divine. So divine. Muy divino.
Hey guys, welcome to Everything Sparkle. I'm so excited to be doing this one right now. Tell us about these cigars.
Go ahead, Orlando.
Well, we're the Devine Leaf Tobacco Company, and we make custom craft cigars in Nicaragua. We own the factory. We do the blending, and we do all that. So, and our website is divineleaf.com. And we would love for y'all to. We have one of the best cigar clubs in the country. You know, you get 8 premium cigars for $55, and we do all the blending, all the custom work to it as well. So, and they're great cigars. Yeah.
You said 8 cigars for $55?
Yes, that's what I said.
Wow, that's really good.
Yeah, no other club is doing anything like that in,
So where
in
do
the
we
world.
sign up for this? I want to belong to the club.
www.thedivineleaf.com.
Yeah.
That's really cool. When did you guys start this?
So our story is kind of parallel, me and Rick. I started 5 years ago. I went to Nicaragua on a mission trip with a bunch of dentists, and
That's
I'm
a story right there.
Hey, I'm a dentist in a third world country. I just want y'all to know that I'm certified and special.
I'm
so
a dentist, so that's good.
So I went to Nicaragua on a mission trip with a bunch of dentists, and I met a couple of people there through Facebook, through our private group called the Cigar Horse, and we became friends. And I had him make me about 3,000 cigars, and I took a couple of presents for his wife and his kids, just because I asked him, say, what you need? And he told me a couple of things that he needed, and I brought some cigars down. I brought some presents down. And I was leaving dinner with the dentist. There's probably about 25 of us. And I said, I'm finna go pick up some cigars. And it's like, where you going? I said, I'm finna go to the cigar factory. He says, Orlando, everywhere we go, you know somebody. I was like, and? So, and they said, can we go? It was like a field trip. And I was like, a field? Y'all can't go with me. You can't go to this dude factory. He don't even know y'all. So I call him. So I called him, and we took everybody there, and they bought everything that he made for the month to sell. And so and I gave him a couple of presents for his kids and his wife. And as I get ready to pay him, his wife comes out and says in Spanish that my money is no good here. And so I had ordered 3,000 cigars from him just because I wasn't in the business at the time, but I was thinking about it. So I was like, man, I got to pay you. So we argued for probably about 20 minutes back and forth. And I said, you know what? Forget it. I'm not going to argue with him anymore. So I had a bottle of Jack Daniels because they can't get Jack Daniels in Nicaragua. And I brought it down for him, and I set it on his desk. And then I stuck all the money that I owed him underneath his little platform. And so I couldn't tell him when I was there. So I waited till I flew back home. I waited for about 2 weeks. And then I called him. I said, yo, Jay, man, I left you a present. And so under your mat. So he counts the money, and he says, didn't I tell you that your money's no good here? He said, I know how much I charge you for them cigars, and this is the exact amount. So we've been friends ever since.
Yeah.
How do you get into this? How do you know how to make a good cigar, a good blend? How do you learn all of this stuff to make a really good mix? Tastes really good, by the way.
Well, thank you. I think it's, we both have a passion for cigars, and we've just been smoking cigars for years. Just as a hobby, it's just something that we love to do. And then as you get into something, just like any type of fine thing that you like fine wine, you start learning about the ground and the notes that you get from it. Well, cigars, they have that also because it's earthy. It comes from the ground, so it pulls out the notes that are in the ground. So as us enjoying cigars, we started to learn more about the leaves and the different type of leaves and the smells, and we just played with it with our palate. We like, and then we just started together, which is the best for us, and that's how we just got started moving forward with it.
And how What's the shelf life on these, on your average cigar that you guys are producing?
Well, if you store it correctly in a humidor, they can last forever, just like Key Sweat.
Yeah.
This is really awesome. So right now, we just go to the website, we can order them, and then what else? Do we get a shirt that says the Devine Leaf?
I think Ricky might have that shirt on. My shirt says something a little bit different.
Yeah.
So
mine is the Devine Leaf Boys. That's what we have. But
wait, what does yours say? What does it say? Cigar?
It says cigar whores don't need therapy. All I need is my cigars and whiskey. That's what it says.
Okay, so what's the best drink for these? Do you have like a pairing for each cigar? You're like, this is the best with wine, this is the best with whiskey, this is the best with scotch. What do you guys, do you give suggestions like that?
Well, we're more whiskey drinkers ourselves, whiskey and bourbon.
So what should I be drinking with this cigar right now? I'm sure Diet Dr. Pepper wasn't like.
Well, it just depends. It just depends on your
choice, and Dr. Pepper.
Yeah. Dr. Pepper's your choice. That's what it is. You know, we drink a lot of whiskey. We drink a lot of bourbon. So those are our choices that we smoke with cigars, and they pair well with wine too as well. Our cigars are pretty. The palate is pretty good for wine, bourbon, even Dr. Pepper.
And so I have another one here. So explain this one. Is this one of the light? This is one of the lighter blends compared to this one, right?
Go ahead, Mr. Ricardo Blanco.
Yes, it is. That is our butcher cut Lancero with the Candela foot on there, and that's the green that you see. And it's a Connecticut, and it's a very light smoke, nice, great flavor, but it's not one that's really going to, to give you that little buzz feeling,
So is this good for a first timer? So if I was going to get one of my girlfriends and I'm like, hey, why don't you try this? This would be the one to give her.
That's one of them. Yeah, we have quite a variety of those, or different type of light cigars or mild cigars, as you call it. But that would be a good one for them to start with. Sometimes people shy away from it because it's so long, and they think, oh my gosh, it's so long, it's really going to mess me up. But actually, that is a good smoke that all the way through, that'll last fine.
Orlando, you want to say something? I saw that look in your face.
So we have a starter kit for women who just start smoking cigars. It's called Aroma Divina. That means divine. Yeah, it means divine aroma in Spanish. Yeah. So if women want to start smoking cigars, we have the Aroma Divina that we make for women, and it's very good. So I don't smoke a lot of flavored cigars, because I smoke gas. That's
great to give us as a bachelorette present. I like that, because I'm always looking for cool gifts. And I mean, if somebody gave it to me as a gift, I'd be like over the moon. I love that you have a starter kit. That's so smart.
Yeah. And then we do, so like if you have a bachelorette party, we'll come to the bachelorette party. We'll talk about, your cigars and how you smoke a cigar, how you light a cigar. We give cigar education.
Do all that?
Yeah, I'm a tobacconist. I'm certified I'm a certified tobacconist, and I will teach you how to do all that stuff. Yeah.
That would be so fun. That's a really cool party starter. I love that you offer that. How much is that? How much does it cost to get you, Orlando?
Well, I'm bringing Rick with me too, so you got to pay Rick too. I gotta bring my muscle and my bodyguard with me every time I go. Now
something like that. If I really wanted to have a party and have you there, how much would that be?
It just depends on how many cigars you need, how many people that you're gonna have there, and it's based on that setting.
Do you
how long you want
$200? Can you come out for like $200 for like a small gathering?
A small gathering for you, yeah, but you got to pay for cigars.
Well, I just want my average viewers to know, because I honestly have no idea how that runs. So if you could just give my viewers a little taste of that, would be, because I think that'd be a great party.
So it just depends on. So we'll probably let's say $500. We come out, you get a couple of cigars with that as well, and then we could be there for an hour or two, and we'll have a great conversation. We'll tell you about pairing with bourbon, pairing with wine, and stuff like that. So that's what we do. Just only in town.
I can pay separate for the time and for the supplies.
Yes,
ma'am.
exactly.
Okay, perfect. No, that's such a great gift because I mean I think you were always trying to think outside the box, and then now you know you have just so many things. This would be like just a really good outside the box event. I mean, I think a lot of women listening might even want to get that like for their husbands or like that.
Yes,
Like a birthday party, like a small gathering, and their friends are coming and saying, "Hey, look, I brought the cigar, guys. Your cigar." I mean, who wouldn't love that? That's a great party starter.
Right.
Yeah, we have a great time too. Yes, and we really give as much education. You can ask any questions. We'll teach you how to smoke a cigar. If you never smoked one before, we'll bring something that's delightful to your palate. So stuff like that. Yeah.
So you were saying you're supposed to twist and light at the same time?
Yes. So when you light a cigar, I'm sorry, I got a huge ash on my cigar. But so when you light a cigar, you want to twirl it in your mouth.
I think I'm gonna switch cigars right now, dude. I don't know if I'm gonna get sick.
Hey, you see what I said? I had a big ass. You see what happened to it?
Yeah. Because you talked about it, you brought it, you made it fall.
Yeah, I made it fall. So you'll take it, and then as you light it, you twirl it in your mouth, and then you can get all the flavors and aromas as it goes through.
But you're not supposed to inhale all the way. You told me. Explain that.
No, you don't want to inhale at all because you will remember it for the rest of your life. Because you will be sick the next day, at least 2 days.
You're just
Because
supposed to cough. You're not supposed to inhale. I got it. I didn't know about the starting one. That was like.
Yeah, the same thing. You just want to puff on it. You don't want to take that deep inhale. You want to put it in your mouth, let it savor in your mouth, get those flavors in your mouth, and then exhale. Or a retrohale where you inhale and it just goes out through your nose, but you do not want to bring it into your lungs.
Okay. So that's a bad part. Okay, so this is a really hard thing. And you're supposed to twist all of them, even the skinny ones?
yes, ma'am.
Right. So yes, and that flame will be better for that smaller one because it will cover up the whole front of it. The other one that you try to light, that flame it was only hitting half of it. So that's why you really want to turn it and make sure.
Yeah.
Now use your other hand.
So a
and turn
small
it.
lighter is better for a cigar, right? A small lighter, not.
So you have two different kind of flames. You have a soft flame that's like a match, and then you have a torch.
Okay.
Like that.
Yeah. Okay. So what do you prefer?
Me personally, they say I'm a pyro, so I love flames, so I love torches.
So a small lighter might be for me if I'm twisting it, right?
Yes. A soft flame would be good.
Yeah. I'd rather you use a long stick match. And then, or they have the cedar wood that you can light the cedar wood, and then you use that to light your cigar.
So why is that? Why is that the best option?
Because sometimes with the torch, if you don't know what you're doing, you can scorch the tobacco leaves, and it can give you a burnt taste.
Okay.
And sometimes the butane can actually get into the leaf. So when you're taking that inhale, you can start tasting some of that butane in your cigar. So you don't want that. So if you're not experienced enough to use a torch, I would use some type of soft flame, like he said, a match, and then graduate into using a torch.
So what's the biggest misconception about cigars? What do you get a lot of that you're just like in all these Q&As that you do?
A lot of misconceptions about cigars that it's like cigarettes. That's one of the biggest misconceptions. And it's not like a cigarette at all. This is all natural. It's a natural product. We don't use any. I'll say it's organic. That's what I'll say. I'll say our cigars are organic because there's no pesticides are used on them. You know, it's all natural. It's grown, you know, in natural situations and stuff like that. And it's processed naturally. And all our cigars are hand rolled in Nicaragua and the Dominican Republic. So, you know, it's a product that doesn't. It's a product of love, I should say, because we take our time with it. You know, I know our fans who are fans of Devine Leaf, they say, man, it takes so long to get your cigars. That's because it's done in love. It's all handmade. It's not done by machines, you know, so a hand rolled cigar.
We should order it way in advance then?
Oh, no. I mean, we're fine now because we own the factory. So our factory produces probably about 20,000 cigars a month. So, yeah. Yeah, and they all hand rolled, so they produce probably about 1,000 cigars a day or more.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and another
Yeah.
misconception is cigars are for men only. You think of, you know, the stereotype, it's an older gentleman and he's smoking a cigar and he's kind of like, that type. But cigars right now, everyone's starting to smoke cigars. It's really picking up with the younger generation. A lot of quote unquote millennials are starting to smoke them. A lot of women are smoking it. So we're trying to establish a market for everybody. We have a cigar for everyone. So we have someone that's a connoisseur that's been smoking cigars forever to the novice that's just getting started. So we have a variety for everyone, and we want everyone to be a part of the Devine Leaf. Just to enjoy a cigar. You're part of a family. We call it the taste of excellence because we feel that we have something for your palate that will give you that taste of excellence.
So who's a fan that we would know? Is there somebody like famous that's a really big fan of the Devine Leaf?
You know what? The cigar community is a little different than the regular community because I would say that we have a cult following because that's how people look at our cigars because our slogan is custom craft cigars, made with you in mind. So all our cigars are customly crafted for our clients. It doesn't matter who they are, from rich or the poor, from whatever they decide to buy. If you're part of a cigar club, if you're not part of a cigar club, if you're buying a 5-pack or whatever it is, our cigars are customly made for you. So everybody to us is a star.
I just felt like I've seen this on a music video or something. I'm like, who's puffing these cigars?
Well, we do have some people that enjoy it that people would call celebrities, but I don't know if it's right for us to say their names. But we do have like some athletes. We have some actors.
Well, I
actresses
would
that
imagine because this is
enjoy our
really
stuff.
good because it's so
Yeah.
custom made. I would think that would be something that everybody would like.
Yes, yeah, and we do. We have from really high professional businessmen, men and women, athletes, to just a casual smoker, just an everyday smoker. So we try to treat everyone the same. You're all special in our eyes. We do everything out of our heart because we enjoy what we're doing. We love what we're doing. It's a passion of ours. So we love and enjoy good cigars, and we love that experience. So we want to give that same experience that we have to everybody that's smoking our cigars.
Yeah.
So why are Cubans a big deal? Is that just because they're like that hard to get and to be obtainable in the U.S. or is it not? It's because that's what I've heard sometimes that there's no better quality of a Cuban cigar as opposed to other cigars. Tell us your take on that.
Go ahead, Rick. I'm gonna be quiet.
I'll be honest on this show. Don't worry.
No. First of all, there are some very good Cuban cigars. And there's some very bad Cuban cigars. Cuban cigars are hard to get, but the majority of the people that say that they have a Cuban cigar, they're really not a Cuban cigar. They're usually made from another country and they just have a wrapper on it.
Okay.
The novice really can't tell, but if you've been smoking cigars and you smoked a Cuban cigar, you could tell the difference of a real Cuban cigar to a knockoff Cuban cigar. I don't think that the Cuban cigars are that much better than some fine, high quality cigars. We have a couple cigars in our line that I would put up against any cigar in the world, and I think we can match blow for blow with them or puff for puff.
Do they have like an awards or like where you get them like voted on and all that? How does that work?
Go ahead.
So they have a couple of things that we do. So we were nominated for New Cigar of the Year on How About That Cigars. It's a national show that they do, and right now they're getting ready to do a write up on our cigars on How About That Cigars. That their blog, and they have a cult following, like I would say, and so they're gonna be writing up on our cigars in a couple of days. So yeah, I mean, our cigar company is really growing. It is organic growth. Because we hadn't done any advertising. It was kind of just people just smoking our cigars and posting our cigars. And I want to tell everybody, thank you so much for the posting, for the reposting, and for everything that they have done to get us to this point. I really appreciate it. And I say this on every show that we're on. If you're ever in the Fresno area, you can always come smoke with us.
I love it. You guys are going to do some pop-ups, right? Ricky told me that you guys were working on doing some pop-ups.
Yeah, so we have a van that we're finishing up, and we're going to have a mobile lounge. So with our mobile lounge, we'll be able to go and do pop-ups. We'll go to different cities up and down the state. We'll go to different states. We're in other states right now, and locally, wherever something's happening, we'll pop up and we'll have our cigars, and anyone, like Orlando said, that can come hang out with the owners of the company and have a smoke with us.
That is so fun. I like that idea, pop-up cigars. Does that mean you're going to bring, when you say pop-up lounge, you're going to bring the places for us to sit on too, or just at our house? Can we jump in the back of the van and like open it and then we start smoking with you?
Well, yeah, so it's almost like a party bus type deal. So you know how like so it's like the party bus. So it's basically, we're going to have luxury seats in there. We have a humidor. We'll have glasses for if anybody wants to bring their own adult beverages in.
I love that. That's so cool.
So we'll have that. We'll have TV in there. We'll have music and whatever it needs to be. But we'll pop it up, and it's just going to be a party wherever we go.
How fun! I definitely want that. Tell us about some of the events that you've done in the past.
So, before COVID, we were out and about in Houston, Dallas, and Chicago. And now once we get to the point now in August, we will be back in Houston, McCoy's Fine Cigars, who carry our whole entire line. We'll be there. We have an event only in North Carolina that we're going to do. And our schedule fills up every day about people wanting us to come to their town and do stuff for us. So, we love what we do. We have a great time. It's going to be always be a party when we show up.
We'll be heading to Vegas also soon, so that'll be a good trip for us. Also, we'll be going to Los Angeles soon. Well, once everything opens up and they allow us to, we'll be in Los Angeles. We'll be in the Sacramento, San Francisco, Oakland areas. So we already have things lined up. We're just waiting to just get back out on the road so we can see the people.
I'm so excited about this. So we're going to follow you on Instagram. That's a big thing. And then you guys are on Twitter and Facebook as well?
Yes, we are. And it's all at Soul Devine Leaf, all across the board.
At Soul Devine Leaf. Okay.
Yes.
This is so, thank you guys for coming on my show, and thanks for the cigars. I'm going to be calling you out for some starter kits and some party events. This is like the coolest thing. And like, I know girls that like cigars, so we'll be coming after.
Outstanding. And anyone that just enjoys cigars or just wants to get involved in cigars, please reach out to us on our social media. We'll reply to you all the time, and just let us know what you're thinking, what your palate is, how would you like to try it, how would you like to get set up, and we would gladly love to get you guys started in smoking cigars.
One more question. Do you guys ever do little like pop-up tutorials like on Facebook or whatever? You just like start saying, hey, I'm smoking this cigar, I like to drink it with this. Do a little like education, do little teasers?
Yeah, I've been in Facebook jail for a month, but I usually do. I've been in Facebook jail for a month, but other than that, yeah, I usually do it on our private page. So our private page is thecigarwhores.com. We need to do .com on that. The Cigar Whores on Facebook. It's a private group, and you have to be invited to come in. Right now, we have probably about 1,000+ members, and we do a lot of advertisement there. You can see our commercial there. We have a cigar commercial that we have. You'll see our commercial there. You'll see, everybody else posting cigars there of what they smoking. Not just our cigars, but whatever you enjoy, you can post there too as well.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for coming on my show today.
Thank you very much for having us.
Hey, anytime. Thank you so much.
Felt right in the moment, felt right in the summertime. It felt right drinking cherry wine with you. Just wanted to own it, just wanted to take the time, learn all the things that I could about you. Now it's such a mess here, oh, we are just stressed here. Used to be so easy with you. Now I must confess here, oh, I must confess, dear, don't think I'm in love with you. Winter is coming and I don't know what to do, and there's no more use in running, no more running to you. And I don't want your loving, I don't this time we were playing pretend. Playing pretend. Playing pretend.
It's a mystery.